how can I be married to a male colleague? Where do I want to start from? It doesn't even have the breast to touch. I mean, his aliens was simplicity. It doesn't improve on our culture. And we cannot be copying all these things blindly. Blindly, it's not right, is it?
I'm sure you know I'm a preacher, and there's no way I will go contrary to the Bible. The one who created them from the beginning created them male and female. And it says a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. That's why he created Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. And so no matter how you do it, I think homosexuality, when in its full description, and if you like to define it, is a situation where humans behave lower than animals. A male dog does not mate with a male dog. A female cat does not mate with a female cat. Homosexuality is a byproduct of a reprobate mind. When men do not acknowledge God as God, it gives them over to a reprobate mind. That's what the word says. And we should not bring that into our nation because it has consequences. But that does not mean that God hates homosexuals. He hates homosexuality, he loves homosexuals, and he would rather that they be saved and their life be washed and made clean. Because it's possible to repent from that sin and be delivered.
Why must we do what every other person is doing? We have our own culture. We have the way we relate to each other. We know female to female is a taboo. Male to male is a taboo. So why do we want to do, because the Englishman who is docile and don't have anything benefit? Yes, they have good things. That's the way they want it. But our culture do not take it. This is part of the colonization. We don't have to go back to those days where the Englishman wants to tailor you to just exactly what he wants you to do. We have to follow our own culture. We know what is right. We know what is good. Even in the Bible, they have said man to man is not good. Woman to woman is not good. So why must you do it because other nations are doing that?
There should be much more stiffer penalties. Me, I like girls. There are girls who like boys. It's not a boy-boy situation or a girl-girl situation. We do not accept gay law in Nigeria. So whatever the president of America wants to think about it, that's his own business. This is Nigeria. We need to control our own system.
But do you consider the economic sanctions or implications for Nigeria?
Which economic sanctions? Okay, let them keep their. What are they giving us? Tell me what they're giving us. Has Obama come into this country since he was sworn in? He came the last time, went to South Africa, Tanzania, skipped Nigeria, went to Ghana, and went back. What economic sanctions? Leave them, let them go. Trade. The way Abacha traded with the East when he was alive, did we lose anything? Let them go with their economic sanctions. If our leaders are serious, we'll build this country. We're building rockets and building planes and building airplanes and building all sorts of things. But our leaders are crazy. They're stupid people.
I understand the sentiment of the West in respect of this matter. And it has always been the position of America and many countries that you do not discriminate against gay persons. However, my only contribution to this is that every law must reflect the true cultural and traditional values of a people. That is the problem with this thing about gay and anti-gay. Our cultural and traditional beliefs are purely anti-gay. And so the laws are just fashioned in line with that. The only thing we need to say is that they need to realize that as much as people must have the freedom to speak in favor of gay persons, they should also realize that on the converse side, people should also have the freedom of speech to speak against it. So you cannot say you are truly against an idea, something that's against your cultural beliefs, but because people will look at you, that you are not in tune with modern realities, you will refuse to talk. That is also infringing on your right. If they shut your mouth not to speak against the gay population, then they are also infringing on your right of freedom of speech to speak out against what you believe. Against what you don't believe in, I mean.
I totally agree with the Nigerian government because we are no longer under anybody's colonization. We have our own voice, we have our own rights, we have our own beliefs, we have our own cultures that we should not remove because we are trying to be a developed country. We can be developed in every other way and not picking up cultures that are alien to how we were brought up. Bible says man to woman, woman to man. no dogs, no animals. So why are we now changing everything upside down? Fine, we have AIDS from developed countries, but that we have AIDS from them does not in any way make us their slaves. We are still independent, and we should have our own leadership, our own brain, our own focus, and we should stick by it. So I believe that it's about time that Nigeria stands for itself and doesn't align itself with other people it feels better, are helping them in any way.
In fact, even the book of Romans says, because of the fact that men were sleeping with men and women were sleeping with women, God now gave them up to begin to do things that are very inconvenient, things that are not normal. God gave them up, and they became very corrupted in their mind. So if the same Bible that I read tells me about this, and tells me that there was a particular country called City of Gomorrah and Sodom that was destroyed because of, sexual immorality, then I will not be here, to support the issue of it. And what we should practice is sexual purity, and that is what our culture supports. And so for the fact that UK or Americans or Switzerland has now said, look, a man should sleep with a man or a goat should sleep with a goat, does not mean that Nigeria now will now adopt it in total and say, oh, because UK has adopted it or America has adopted it, a goat should sleep with a goat within our polity. No, we have a right to say no. In the issue of sexual matter, a man should sleep with a woman and vice versa. And that is what Nigeria has agreed upon, and majority of Nigerians are very happy with that law.
Why should there be controversy over gay marriage? Does it put in the table of Nigerian people? Payment of unemployment benefits, like it's done all over the world, to people that are jobless. Free education at all levels. I travel out of this country, I drink free water. I don't pay for water. I was in Geneva. My first trip in Geneva, of course, it doesn't happen this time around. Again, I wanted to drink water. I lighted from the aircraft. I was feeling thirsty. I want to change my money to Swiss francs. They spend Swiss francs. And I want to buy water. They say it's free. The biggest bottle of ever water. I was almost shedding tears. I mean, how can we be in Lagos for 16 years? We don't have water to drink, and you are giving us poor and pure water. These are setbacks. So these are germane issues that attract attention of Nigeria, not gay marriage, gay law. What benefits to Nigerian people? It doesn't improve on our life. Poor water, also called pure water, they call poor water, are for poor people. I'm telling you, I was in South Africa. The water that Mandela drank when he was the president, and the water that the president of South Africa is drinking. I was in the University of KwaZulu-Natal for 2 weeks. The tap he was drinking is what all the students were drinking. Every hostel, every room have, washing basin with water. Brush your teeth in your room, apart from the general one. The hostel is scrupulously clean. They have more than 40 in a particular hostel. So these are issues that you attract these are we should be talking about.
If for whatever reasons, human rights and all that, they have decided that it's okay in their own culture, in their own society, in their own system, to propagate and promote, gay and homosexuality and lesbianism, all well and good for them. But when they begin to cross their frontiers and think they would come here to impose their own ideas, no. So I don't even want to think about forcing us. Okay, I think we have made a statement, we've made a point. We don't want that. By virtue of signing the bill into law, we have made a statement, and we should stand by the statement. I think that is the proper thing that's the proper way to go. Sodom and Gomorrah's faith should not be the faith of Nigeria. Let them do what they want to do.
If not for bad leadership, if not for misgovernance, we have enough resources, in this country to sustain ourselves. And say, to hell with any aid that any country wants to give to us. They need us. They need our oil. It's a mutual thing. It's not as if we're depending upon them, if not for bad leadership. So I want to get it right. I want you to get it right. That Nigeria has a right to determine what it wants in its own country. We're a sovereign state. And so if we feel that on issue of sexual purity, that we're not going to allow a man to be sleeping with a man, a woman sleeping with a woman, then it is our constitutional right, our own right to say this is what we want.